Why do leaves change color? In January, some trees have this sort of appearance, where they are bare with no leaves. As the growing season begins, leaves slowly begin to grow, and as time progresses, they eventually cover the whole tree. After summer comes to an end, the leaves slowly begin to undergo drastic color changes. They begin to get lighter and eventually completely change color. As they change color, they begin to fall from the tree. These color changes usually go in the order of green, yellow, orange, and then end with red or brown. After this full progression of color change, all the leaves fall from the tree and the cycle begins all over again after the winter season. So why does this happen? As summer and autumn begins, the days begin to get shorter and shorter. This is a signal that lets the trees know it is time to begin getting ready for winter. During winter, there is not enough light or water for photosynthesis to occur. This loss of photosynthesis production is why we see color change in leaves. Photosynthesis is driven by chlorophyll, which is the primary pigment that gives leaves their green color. Chlorophyll is found in the chloroplast of a plant cell. The chloroplast consists of multiple stacks of thylakoids. Chlorophyll molecules are embedded in the membranes of these thylakoids. The basic structure of a chlorophyll molecule is a ring coordinated around a central magnesium atom. These molecules are the most important pigments for absorbing the light energy used in photosynthesis, which is why they are known as photoreceptors. When light energy reaches the chlorophyll molecules, it energizes the electrons within them, and these excited electrons move to an electron transport chain in the thylakoid membrane. Every step in the electron transport chain lowers the energy state in the excited electrons since it is harnessing their energy to produce ATP and NADPH. Meanwhile, each chlorophyll molecule replaces its lost electron with an electron from water. This process essentially splits water molecules to produce oxygen. This is the oxygen that is a product generated after photosynthesis has occurred. Once these reactions have occurred, further reactions, known as carbon fixation, take place in the chloroplast stroma. Energy from ATP and NADPH molecules generated by earlier chlorophyll light reactions drive a chemical pathway that uses the carbon in carbon dioxide to build sugars, also known as glucose. These are the sugar molecules generated as a product from the photosynthesis reaction. In order to do photosynthesis in trees, they need to have these chlorophyll molecules. These molecules drive photosynthesis and give leaves their green color. There are two other molecules present in the chloroplast that contribute to color changes in leaves besides chlorophyll. They are called carotenoids and anthocyanins. These two molecules are always present with the chlorophyll in a leaf, but they are not noticeable until chlorophyll has disappeared. As the cold season progresses, the trees begin to get ready for a sort of hibernation. This begins when chlorophyll stops getting produced due to the lack of sunlight and water. When chlorophyll is no longer being made, carotenoids become the more prominent molecule, which changes the leaves to yellow and orange. Eventually, carotenoids stop getting produced as well, and then the anthocyanins become the main pigment molecule and then turn the leaf red. Throughout the whole color-changing process, leaves are also falling off the trees. All of these processes become inhibited when temperatures drop, days grow shorter, and moisture changes. Trees become unable to produce food successfully in their leaves because of the lack of photosynthesis. These environmental conditions enhance enzymes that promote breakdown. Veins slowly stop carrying nutrients through the leaves, and the trees create a barrier at the petiole, causing reactions to change leaf color and overall leaf detachment to begin. Once this retraction occurs, the trees go dormant through the winter until the growing season occurs once more. So why doesn't this happen to all trees? All the processes we have mentioned are what you would see in a deciduous tree. These trees have broad, thin leaves and lack the thick, waxy coating found in coniferous trees to protect against harsh weather. The fluid in the leaves is thin and doesn't act as like an antifreeze, so when temperatures drop, their cells would freeze if they were still connected to the tree. Therefore, the tree has adapted to seal off and shed these susceptible cells in a way to protect itself over winter. Coniferous trees have evolved their needle-like leaves to have a thick, waxy coating, as well as a fluid within the leaves to act like a sort of antifreeze. These adaptations work together to make the leaves much more resilient to harsh winter conditions and is the reason we don't see them change colors and shed when winter is approaching. When you see pine needles on the ground, this is because they shed their needles every few years due to old age or have died off for various other reasons. You see the innermost needles of coniferous trees turn a goldish brown around winter when this shedding is occurring. As great of a benefit shedding leaves has become for deciduous trees to survive winter, the drop leaves serve a further purpose to the surrounding area. This detritus helps aid in protection of nutrient leaching from the soil during harsh winter rains. They also recycle nutrients back into the soil and create habitat for numerous amounts of microorganisms that live in the soil. Everything is a tightly interconnected network. So now you know. This is why some trees have leaves that change colors and why some do not.